My beloved, listen to me carefully, child of God. This message is not for everyone. If you play with darkness, mock the things of the Spirit, or treat God lightly, you should not be here. Only those who truly seek the Most High, only the ones who feel that quiet pull in their soul are meant to hear what I'm about to say. If you are still watching, it is because heaven allowed this message to find you at the perfect time. Your steps were guided here. What I'm going to reveal will confront you, strengthen you, and may change the course of your life if you receive it with an open heart. This is a word for the chosen and for the strongest among them. Before we go deeper, I want you to seal your agreement in the Spirit. If you feel this speaking to you, comment 777 right now as a sign that you know this message is for you. And do not keep this to yourself. Subscribe to Rise of the Chosen. Tap the bell icon so you do not miss what heaven is releasing next. And share this video with another child of God who needs to wake up. Now, chosen one, stay with me until the end. There is something you must hear. Music. Who is the strongest chosen one? Identity, rank, and hidden training. Chosen one. Friendships failed without clear reasons. Family members turned cold. People they loved deeply could not truly see them. But hear me, rejection was not a curse. It was a filter. God used rejection to keep you from being formed by the wrong voices. He allowed doors to close so your spirit would not be caged inside environments that could not carry who you are becoming. The strongest chosen ones go through training others do not understand. While some people live comfortably in spiritual sleep, you are thrown into battle early. Strange warfare shows up in your life. Attacks come in patterns. Every time you try to step forward, something tries to pull you back. This is not because you are weak. It is because you are dangerous to darkness. The enemy identified your potential before you did and decided you must be broken, discouraged, and silenced. Look at the rhythm of your life. How many times have you survived what should have destroyed you? How many times did you think this is the end? And yet somehow you rose again. The strongest chosen ones are still standing after storms that would have killed others spiritually. This is spiritual evidence of rank. Strength is not proven in easy days. It is proven in the days where you pray with tears, worship with a heavy heart, and choose God even when you feel abandoned. You have also noticed that your conscience is different. You cannot sin comfortably. You cannot live in compromise and feel at peace. Where others are able to make excuses, you feel conviction quickly. You are pulled back to alignment again and again. This is not God being harsh with you. This is God protecting His investment inside you. The strongest chosen ones are disciplined more strictly because what they carry is more costly. When heaven has placed a heavier mantle on your life, your margin for foolishness becomes smaller. The hidden training of the strongest chosen ones often looks like loneliness. There were seasons when God allowed everyone to walk away so you would finally hear His voice clearly. At times it felt like punishment, but it was separation. In those quiet nights when no one answered your calls and no one understood your tears, heaven was teaching you how to walk with God as your closest companion. The strongest chosen are trained to stand even when no one claps for them, no one validates them, and no one sees what they are carrying. You might have been kept away from certain friendships, relationships, or paths that looked attractive. You did not understand why things never worked out for you the way they did for others. Listen to me. That was divine protection, not failure. The strongest chosen cannot be entangled in every story because their energy, time, and heart must remain available for their true assignment. God closed some doors not because you were unworthy, but because you were too valuable to be wasted there. Another mark of the strongest chosen one is the weight of compassion they carry. Even after betrayal, they still feel called to love. Even after being misunderstood, they still feel drawn to help others heal. They may appear stern or guarded sometimes, but inside them is a deep well of mercy. This is why people come to you with their pain, their secrets, their questions. They sense that you carry something stable, something ancient, something safe. That is the Spirit of God resting on you, strengthening you to comfort those you are called to. The strongest chosen ones also wrestle with a sense of too big inside. They look at ordinary life and feel a quiet restlessness, like they were born for more than just chasing money, attention, or survival. This restlessness is not greed. It is calling. It is the story of your spirit, remembering that there is a mission on your life and you will never be fully satisfied until you walk in it. You may have tried to drown it with distraction, entertainment, or busyness, but it always returns. That restlessness is heaven knocking. Do not confuse spiritual rank with worldly rank. The strongest chosen one may not be rich, famous, or widely liked. They may be working a simple job, living in a small place known by few, but in the Spirit. When they speak, things shift. When they pray, chains break. When they walk into a room, atmospheres respond. Even if people cannot explain why the unseen world knows who they are long before the visible world acknowledges them. True strength is measured in impact, not applause. If, as you listen, your memories, your wounds, your strange life patterns are lining up with these words, it is not by accident. You are beginning to see yourself as heaven has always seen you. You are not crazy. You are not weak. You are not too much. You are a vessel that has been tested, crushed, and preserved for a bigger story. Being the strongest chosen one does not mean you are better than others. It means you are more responsible. It means that what you carry will touch many lives, whether you see it or not. So understand this: your difference has always been your evidence. Your battles have been your classroom. Your tears have been your anointing oil. The rank you hold in the Spirit was not handed to you cheaply. It was forged in the years where you felt unseen and unheard. From this moment on, stop calling yourself weak because you feel tired. Recognize that the very fact you are still here, still seeking God, still hungry for truth, is proof that you are among the strongest of His chosen. The prophecy is real. Ancient words, present time, personal fulfillment, chosen one. You are not imagining this. The pull you feel, the sense that your life is wrapped in a story bigger than you, the way certain words, dreams, and signs seem to follow you everywhere. This is not coincidence. This is prophecy breathing over your life. The prophecy is real, and you are standing inside it right now. From the beginning, God has always worked through a remnant, a small group set apart for specific assignments in dark times. The prophets of old spoke of people who would rise with light, discernment, and uncompromising devotion. When confusion covered the nations, you did not hear those ancient declarations, but heaven already knew your name when they were spoken. Before you saw battles, before you felt loneliness, your life was already written into a divine script. Think about your journey. How many times have you felt like you were waiting for something without knowing what it was? How often did you sense an invisible countdown over your life, as if you were being prepared for a moment that had not yet arrived? That is the mark of someone living under prophecy. Your life has had a strange rhythm, delays that made no sense, sudden shifts, divine interruptions. Every time you tried to settle for less than your calling, something broke down. That was not bad luck. That was the prophecy refusing to let you stay small. Understand this: the word over your life is bigger than your personal comfort. It is connected to bloodlines, territories, and people you have not met yet. Some of the battles you fought did not start with you. They started generations before you. Patterns of poverty, addiction, broken relationships, spiritual confusion. These cycles were allowed to run until God raised someone in the family line who would not bow, would not break, and would not surrender to darkness. Very often that person is the strongest chosen one. That person may be you. You have likely felt like the odd one in your environment, the one who questions what everyone else accepts, the one who feels restless where others are comfortable. This is a sign that prophecy has singled you out. Those who carry stronger prophetic mantles are rarely at peace in dysfunctional atmospheres. Their spirit grieves where others are numb. This is not paranoia. It is prophetic sensitivity. Many of you have had dreams that felt more real than reality. You have seen things in the spirit, storms, doors, battles, paths, faces, maybe even numbers or symbols that repeat. At times you woke up shaken, heavy or exhausted, as if you had been working all night. This is part of prophetic training. Your spirit has been receiving instructions, previews, and warnings. Some of you have experienced moments where a verse, a phrase, or a message felt like it was written solely for you. You sat with others, but the words pierced you differently. Tears came without permission. Your heart felt exposed. This is how living prophecy works. It finds you in ordinary moments and reminds you that you are anything but ordinary. When God keeps repeating the same message through different people, different places, and different seasons, He is confirming your assignment. Look back for a moment. How many times have you heard the same themes about your life? People telling you there is a calling on you, that you are meant to lead, that you carry light, wisdom, or unusual authority. Even when you tried to run from God, the message chased you. This is not emotional flattery. This is prophecy trying to gain your agreement. And yes, even the signs you see around you are often part of this. I'm not speaking of empty superstition, but divine patterns. When you keep seeing the same confirmations, the same words, the same scriptures, the same numbers, it is heaven tapping you on the shoulder. For some of you, 777 has appeared in ways you could not ignore. If as you listen right now, your spirit feels that familiar burning and you know this is speaking directly into your timeline, I want you just once more to comment 777 as a sign that you recognize the prophecy over your life is real and you choose to agree with it. The prophecy resting over the strongest chosen ones is time sensitive. We are not in a casual era. Look at the world around you. Confusion is celebrated. Darkness is normalized. Truth is mocked. Yet even in this, there is a rising of quiet, hidden warriors. People like you who feel a holy discomfort with the way things are. That discomfort is prophetic. You are not called merely to survive this time. You are called to influence it. Because of prophecy, some doors you begged for had to close. God allowed certain opportunities, relationships, or paths to collapse because they did not align with the future He wrote for you. You called it heartbreak, but in the spirit it was redirection. The strongest chosen ones must learn to see no as protection, not rejection. Every relationship that did not work, every plan that crumbled, every attempt to fit into a life smaller than your calling, these were places where prophecy stepped in and declared, not there, not like this. You are also noticing that time feels different now. What you tolerated before, you cannot tolerate anymore. What you overlooked in past seasons now feels heavy and wrong. This is a sign that the prophecy is moving from promise into activation. There is a shift when the word over your life changes from one day to now. You begin to feel urgency, a sense that you must clean your atmosphere, align your habits, sharpen your focus, and prepare. Heaven is drawing a line in the sand, and your spirit feels it. Part of the fulfillment of prophecy is your agreement. God will not force you to walk in what was spoken over you. He will nudge, call, correct, and confirm, but He will not drag you. The strongest chosen ones are those who, even trembling, still say yes. They lay down their timelines, fantasies, and pride, and they pray, Use me as you planned, not as I imagined. That surrender unlocks doors that effort alone never could understand. This clearly. Prophecy is not magic. It does not bypass process. It does not exempt you from discipline, sacrifice, or obedience. It reveals what is possible if you align with heaven. The fact that you are hearing these words right now is itself prophetic. Out of all the voices you could be listening to, you are here being reminded that you are among the chosen and that the word over your life is alive. This is not entertainment. This is a summons. Fulfillment will not look the same for every chosen one. For some, it will mean leading visible movements. For others, it will mean transforming their bloodline, raising children with spiritual clarity, building businesses with integrity, healing the broken, speaking truth inside corrupted systems, or interceding in secret where no camera will ever see them. Do not despise a quieter assignment. In heaven's eyes, obedience in the hidden place can carry as much weight as obedience on a public stage. The measure is not visibility. The measure is faithfulness. Whatever shape your assignment takes, there will come a moment when your past suddenly makes sense. The betrayals, the warfare, the isolation, the strange timing of events, pieces will begin to fit together. You will see that nothing was wasted. Even sins and failures once surrendered become testimonies that carry authority. The enemy wanted those memories to shame you into silence. God will use them to strengthen your voice. Chosen one, feel the weight of this truth. The prophecy over your life is not waiting for a distant future. It is unfolding now. Every day you choose alignment, you step deeper into it every day. You choose compromise, you step away from it. Heaven is calling you to stop doubting the signs, to stop calling yourself crazy, to stop shrinking who you are just to make others comfortable. You are not just another soul passing through time. You are a carrier of something ancient, spoken long before you understood it and meant to manifest in this generation. The uneasiness you feel when you try to live a normal life is proof that you were never designed for normal. The prophecy is real and it is calling you higher. From this point forward, walk with the awareness that your steps are not random. The conversations you have, the places you go, the instructions you obey or ignore, all of them are threads in a greater tapestry. Stay sensitive, stay teachable, stay in the presence of God where your spirit can keep receiving updates about what to do next. You are not late, you are not behind. As long as there is breath in your body, you are still eligible to fulfill what was spoken. Believe it, agree with it, prepare your life to carry it. The prophecy is real and it has found you. The fire, you survived. Why your battles were harder than others chosen. One, let me speak to the part of you that is tired but still standing. You have wondered many times, why is my life like this? Why does it feel like I get hit harder than other people? You look around and see others living casually, playing with life, making reckless choices, and somehow things seem to work out for them. Meanwhile, you try to do right. You try to seek God, and yet storms keep visiting your house. Hear me clearly. This is not because you are cursed. It is because you are carrying more weight in the spirit than you realize. The strongest chosen ones are trained in fire, not comfort. Your story has included battles you did not ask for and pain you did not deserve. You faced spiritual attacks before you even had language to describe them. As a child, you sensed darkness in places, felt unsafe around certain people, or woke up from heavy dreams. You were thrown into emotional and spiritual warfare long before you knew what warfare was. Look back at your family line. Very often the strongest chosen one comes from a bloodline full of patterns, broken marriages, addiction, poverty, sudden deaths, mental torment, spiritual confusion. You were born into a battlefield, not a playground. And because you are the one called to break those cycles, the battle around you has been intense. Generations of darkness do not surrender quietly. When you decided, even unconsciously, that the dysfunction stops with you, the war escalated. Your relationships have likely carried unusual pain. People you trusted suddenly turned against you. Friends disappeared when you needed the most. You poured love into the wrong hearts and they shattered you in return. Sometimes the deepest betrayals came from those you would have defended with your own life. These were not random tragedies, they were part of the refining. The fire you survived taught you to recognize counterfeit connections, to stop giving access to those who only drain and never pour back, and to depend on God more than on human validation. The strongest chosen ones often carry a story of isolation. There were seasons when you could not explain why you felt so alone. Even in a room full of people, you could sense that no one really understood the weight you were carrying. Invitations slowed down. Calls stopped coming. People labeled you distant, cold, or too different. But in the spirit, heaven was pulling you away from noise so that your ears could tune to the voice of God. Solitude became your classroom, and tears became your prayers. Many of your battles have not been visible. Outside, you may have smiled, worked, served, and looked fine. Inside, you were fighting waves of fear, anxiety, or sadness that made no logical sense. Attacks on your mind came in cycles. Thoughts of giving up, thoughts of unworthiness, thoughts that no one would care if you disappeared, tried to settle in your soul. These mental storms were not just mood swings. They were assaults designed to shut down a dangerous soul before it fully awakens. But even in your lowest moments, something in you refused to die. Your finances may have been under siege as well. Money slipped through your hands. Every time you tried to save, an unexpected crisis demanded it. Every time you tried to step forward, something broke, someone needed help, or a door suddenly closed. The enemy wanted you exhausted and distracted so you would not have the energy to focus on your spiritual assignment. Yet somehow, even when you did not know how, you made it through. Bills got paid just in time. Help appeared from unexpected places. The fire you survived was not only external, it was internal. You wrestled with questions. Why did God allow this? If I am chosen, why do I feel so broken? There were nights when you prayed and heard nothing back. Days when the heavens felt silent. You watched others share testimonies of quick breakthroughs while you lived through long seasons of waiting. That waiting was not punishment. It was deep work. God was stretching your capacity, building patience, and teaching you to trust Him beyond your feelings. Notice how over time the fire changed you. You see through people faster now. You sense danger earlier. You are less impressed by appearances, more focused on spirit. What used to tempt you easily no longer has the same power. Where you once reacted in emotion, you now pause, discern, and respond with wisdom. This is not random maturity. This is the fruit of your battles. You did not come out of the fire empty-handed. You came out with discernment, authority, and a spiritual backbone that cannot be bought or faked. Understand this: the intensity of your warfare is proportional to the impact of your calling. The enemy does not waste heavy weapons on harmless targets. The fact that your life has felt like a series of battles is evidence that your existence is dangerous to darkness. Every time you refuse to give up, every time you chose forgiveness over bitterness, every time you got back up after a fall, you were proving that you are not just chosen, you are one of the strongest. You may have noticed that when you try to live a double life, half in light, half in darkness, you are torn apart inside. Compromise feels more painful to you than to those around you. Others sin and sleep fine. You try the same thing and your spirit screams, this is because you are not built like them. The covenant over your life will not let you rest in places beneath your calling. The strongest chosen ones are corrected quickly because much has been entrusted to them. Even your body may carry the marks of the fire. Sickness, sudden fatigue, mysterious attacks on your health, all appearing at strategic times when you were close to breakthrough. These moments were designed to slow you down, to make you fear death, to convince you that you are too weak to be used by God. Yet again and again recovery came, strength returned, you rose when you thought you were finished. These resurrections are proof that the hand of God is jealously guarding your timeline. The fire has also purified your desires. The things you pray for now are different from what you cried for years ago. You used to ask mainly for escape and comfort. Now you find yourself asking for wisdom, clarity, strength, and alignment with God's will. That shift is a mark of maturity. The strongest, chosen ones eventually stop begging to be taken out of the fire and start asking to be refined through it. They begin to see suffering not as the end of their story, but as the shaping of their assignment. I want you to notice something else. The people who are drawn to you, broken hearts find you, confused souls come to you for advice. Strangers feel safe opening up to you. They sense that you understand pain on a deeper level. This is because your battles have carved out space inside you for compassion. The fire you survived burned away shallow judgment and replaced it with the ability to love people in their mess without losing your standards. You can speak truth with grace because you know what it is like to be wounded and still loved by God. In all of this, do not romanticize suffering. God does not delight in your pain, and you are not called to chase suffering for its own sake. The purpose of the fire was never to destroy you. It was to reveal you. It exposed the weakness that needed healing, the ties that needed cutting, the lies that needed replacing with truth. It stripped you down to the core of who you are in God, so that when He raises you, you will stand on a solid foundation, not on illusions. So when you look at your life and see a long list of battles, do not only see loss, see training, see preparation, see evidence that heaven has been investing heavily in you. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. You are being tempered like a sword that will not break in the day of battle. The fire you survive is the very reason you will have the strength, the wisdom, and the authority to walk into the next season of your calling. Chosen one, wipe your eyes, straighten your back, and recognize who you have become through everything you have endured. You are not weak because you feel pain. You are strong because you kept moving while carrying it. Your story is not just a story of survival. It is a prophecy of victory in process. The battles that tried to bury you will become the testimony that sets others free. And this is why your battles were harder than others. Because what is coming out of you will be greater than anything you have walked through. Your mantle, your mission, what the strongest chosen ones are really here to do. Chosen one, you have not survived everything you have lived through just to go back to an ordinary life. There is a reason heaven kept you when others were lost. There is a reason your spirit never fit into the patterns that trap so many. You are not just chosen to endure, you are chosen to carry a mantle and fulfill a mission that stretches beyond your personal story. It is time you understand what you are really here to do. A mantle is not just a title or a gift. It is a spiritual responsibility placed on your shoulders by God. It is the weight of an assignment that must be completed. The role you play in His plans on the earth. Many people want gifts, power, and recognition. Few understand the cost of a mantle. The strongest chosen ones carry mantles that press on their spirit, that do not let them rest in compromise, that call them to higher standards even when no one is watching. Look at your life carefully. What burdens never leave you? What injustice keeps you awake? What type of pain in others moves you the deepest? These are clues. The mission on your life is often hidden inside the ache of your heart. If you cannot stand to see broken families, Your mantle may be to restore homes and bloodlines. If you are moved by the lost, the confused, and the spiritually blind, your mantle may be as a guide, a teacher, a prophetic voice calling people back to God. If you cannot ignore corruption in systems, your assignment may involve reforming territories, institutions, or communities. The strongest chosen ones are often raised as breakers of patterns. You were sent into your family line to end cycles that tormented generations before you. Addictions, abuse, perversion, poverty, spiritual blindness. These things have treated your bloodline like home. Your mantle gives you the authority to declare, "It ends with me." That is why your life could not follow the easy path. You were drafted into a war that started before you, and your mission is to close doors that were opened long before your birth. But your mantle is not limited to your family. Many of you are called to shape the spiritual climate around you. Wherever you go, things shift. You may not see it fully yet, but atmospheres respond to you. Your presence brings peace where there was chaos, conviction where there was carelessness, clarity where there was confusion. This is not simply your personality, it is the mantle you carry. The strongest chosen ones are spiritual thermostats, not thermometers. They do not simply report what is happening, they change it. Some of you are called as intercessors. Your mission is hidden but powerful. Heaven wakes you up at strange hours with people, nations, or situations on your heart. You feel spiritual pressure and are moved to pray. You may never stand on a stage, but you stand in the gap. You shift outcomes through your petitions, your tears, your warfare in the secret place. The strongest intercessors are often the most attacked, because if the enemy can silence your prayers, he can slow down answers that were meant to be released through your obedience. Others are called to teach and speak. Not everyone who talks is sent, but some of you are. When you open your mouth, people listen differently. Even simple words hit deep. Your mantle is to bring understanding where there has been deception. You are called to explain spiritual realities in ways people can grasp, to remove confusion, to expose lies, to plant truth. This mission demands that you learn, grow, and stay rooted in God's voice, because your words will shape destinies. Some of you are called as healers, not just in the physical sense, but in the emotional and spiritual dimension. People come to you broken and somehow they leave lighter. Your presence calms storms. Your mission is to bind up the wounds of those who have been crushed by life. This does not mean you become everyone's dumping ground, but it does mean you carry grace to walk with people through their process. Your mantle requires boundaries, wisdom, and a heart that remains soft even when you have been hurt. There are also those whose mission is to enter systems, business, media, education, government, technology, and carry light into dark structures. You may not look religious in your setting, but your values, your integrity, your decisions, and the quiet authority you carry expose what is corrupt and protect what is pure. You are a gatekeeper. Your mantle is to be in positions where your yes and no carry weight. For this reason, your character has been targeted heavily. The enemy knows that if he can twist your integrity, he can use you instead of fear you. Whatever your specific mission looks like, there is one thing all the strongest chosen ones have in common. They are not allowed to live small, self-centered lives. You are not here just to chase money, comfort, or attention. Those things may come, but they are not the purpose. Your life is an instrument. Your time, your talents, your experiences, and even your scars are all ingredients in the work God wants to do through you. This is why hiding no longer fits you. Many of you have tried to shrink yourselves to avoid responsibility. You have played small so that others would not feel threatened. You have dulled your light to stay loved by people who are more comfortable with a weaker version of you. That must end. Your mantle will not sit quietly just because you are scared. The more you suppress who you are, the more restless and frustrated you become. Your spirit knows there is more, Fear and false humility are two of the biggest enemies of your mission. Fear says, I am not ready. I am not strong enough. I will fail. False humility says, I am nothing special. Others can do it better. I should stay in the background forever. Both are lies. True humility is knowing you are nothing without God, yet refusing to bury what He put inside you. True humility is saying, I am available even when you feel unqualified, and then allowing God to qualify you in the journey. Your mantle will demand decisions. You cannot walk in it while clinging to everything and everyone from your past. Some habits must go. Some relationships cannot continue. Some environments will no longer feel right because they suffocate your spirit. Do not resist this. When God begins to separate you from what drains you, He is making room for what will build you. The strongest chosen ones are not perfect, but they are willing to let God prune them to walk in your mission. You must develop discipline. The anointing on your life is not an excuse to be careless. Spend time in God's presence. Let your mind be renewed by His word. Train your spirit to recognize His voice quickly. Learn to say no to distractions that do not align with your assignment. The more you agree with heaven in your daily choices, the clearer your mission becomes. Do not wait for a grand moment to start. Your mission begins with small acts of obedience. Speak when God nudges you to speak. Pray when He places someone on your heart. Be generous when He tells you to give. Change that habit when He convicts you. Apologize when He tells you to make things right. These small steps prepare you for larger instructions. If you cannot obey in private, you will not suddenly become obedient on a big platform. Understand also that your mantle is not meant to crush you. God does not give you an assignment and then abandon you in it. The same Spirit that called you will strengthen you. There will be days when you feel unworthy, days when you feel empty, days when your own heart needs ministry. On those days, remember you are a vessel, not the source. Your mission is to stay yielded. He will supply what you lack. Chosen one, you are here to carry something this world desperately needs. Your life is not an accident. Your story is not pointless. Your gifts are not random. You're a living answer to prayers that were prayed before you even existed. There are people tied to your obedience, people waiting on the other side of your yes. When you rise into your mantle, they receive permission to rise into theirs. So from this moment, stop calling yourself just anything. You are not just a worker, just a parent, just a friend, just a quiet person. You are a carrier of a divine assignment. Let that awareness sink into your bones. Walk like someone sent. Think like someone trusted. Live like someone whose days are precious and whose presence has purpose. Your mantle is real. Your mission is significant. The strongest chosen ones are really here to disrupt darkness, to heal what has been broken, to restore what has been lost, and to point hearts back to the one who chose them. And that chosen one is why your life could never be ordinary. Urgent instructions and warnings. How the strongest chosen must walk. Now, chosen one, I will not speak to you softly here. You have been comforted. You have been affirmed. Now you must be instructed. The time we are in is not gentle, and the rank you carry in the Spirit does not allow you to walk carelessly anymore. The strongest chosen ones cannot afford to live like everyone else. Your steps are watched, your words are weighed, and your choices either strengthen your mantle or weaken it. So listen with a serious heart, because these are not suggestions. These are survival instructions for your calling. From this point on, you must guard your atmosphere with intention. Protect your mind like a sacred temple. You cannot allow constant noise, chaos, and confusion to fill your inner world. Be careful what you feed your spirit through music, shows, conversations, and scrolling. What others can watch for entertainment may open doors in you that are hard to close. The strongest chosen are more sensitive by design, so corruption sticks to you quicker. When you feel your peace draining, your discernment foggy, your hunger for God dropping, treat it like a spiritual emergency. Pull back. Clean your environment. Return to the presence of God until your spirit is clear again. You must also become very selective with your connections. Not every friendly face is a safe spirit. Some people were sent to your life and some were sent against your life. Learn the difference. Counterfeit connections come dressed as comfort, romance, opportunity, or even ministry, but slowly pull you away from your true path. Pay attention to what happens to your spirit after you spend time with someone. Do you feel heavier or lighter, clearer or more confused? The strongest chosen ones cannot keep covenant with people who normalize sin, mock holiness, or constantly pull them back into old versions of themselves. Love them, pray for them, but do not join them. Hear this warning clearly. Distraction is as dangerous to you as outright sin. The enemy knows that if he cannot get you to fall openly, he will try to keep you busy, entertained, and spiritually numb. Endless scrolling, meaningless conversations, constant comparison, chasing trends, chasing applause. These things will quietly drain your power. Your time must be handled like a weapon. Set aside portions of your day where your spirit is fed, your mind is renewed, and your assignment is advanced. The strongest chosen must learn to be okay with being boring in the eyes of the world so they can be powerful in the eyes of heaven. You must also confront your tendency to isolate in an unhealthy way. Yes, there are seasons where God separates you, but permanent spiritual isolation is a trap.